morning, students. In previous class, we have seen World War II. In that lesson, we discussed what are the causes for the Second World War. End of the First World War, which treaty signed with Germany? Treaty of Versailles signed with Germany. According to the Treaty of Versailles, Germany wanted to give the war indemnity and war loss. Then we discussed failure of League of Nations, post-war crisis in Germany, the rise of Adolf Hitler, allies and non-intervention policy, then Munich Pact. Then we discussed the course of the World War II, what are the effect of the Second World War, end of the Second World War, what was started, United Nations organization was started. What are the organs of United Nations organization? General Assembly, Security Council, International Court of Justice. Why was United Nations organization started? To prevent war in future. Then we discussed post-war welfare states in Europe. Today class, we are going to learn a new lesson, History 4th lesson, the world after World War II. In this lesson, we are going to learn Communist Revolution in China, Cold War and the Non-Aligned Movement, Korean War and the Cuban Missile Crisis, Arab-Israel Wars and Vietnam War, European Economic Community and European Union, fall of Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War era. Era means period. Let's see the introduction first. What happened after the World War II in the world? End of the Second World War or after the Second World War, world was divided into two hostile blocks. One is Russian bloc, then another one is American bloc. After the math of Second World War, a new period was begun. It was the beginning of the decline of European colonial empires and the independence colonies in Asia and Africa. World War I let Russia becoming a communist country. Likewise, World War II resulted in China becoming a communist country. Now, what is communism? The political system in which the states own and controls all factories, farms, service, etc. And the aims to treat everyone equally. Then end of the war inspired independence throughout Africa and Asia, and this is called decolonization. After the World War II, we actually became an independent country. India became independent country in the year 1947. World War II ended in 1945. So many countries after the Second World War tried to become independent. So this happened after World War II. And when the countries colonized, other countries who were weaker, then it was colonization. These countries tried to get their independence and became independent countries on their own. It was known as decolonization. Then Marshall Plan. What is Marshall Plan? Marshall Plan, now this was headed by United States. Before World War II, you had all these European countries as the real superpower. But after World War II, USA, America and Russia emerged as the superpower. Now these two became two separate blocks. Separate blocks, antagonistic blocks. Antagonist means, which means enemies. One side of the world, USA, and the other side, USSR. So they tried to impact various countries because of their power. So a Cold War started. Now what is Cold War? A Cold War is something where you don't have physical fighting. It is a war, but it's not physical fighting like how we had World War I and World War II. Now these were the main places where the conflict happened. Korea, Cuba, Vietnam and West Asia. USA started this Marshall Plan to reconstruct various countries who were ravaged Europe. That means they were all destroyed after the war. So to help them build up again, to help them come back again. USA had a Marshall Plan where they would aid financially and these countries to get back and get running. But the USSR, what did they do? Now I told you many countries wanted to get back independent. So one who wanted to get independent, USSR, what did they do? Is they backed them up. They were encouraging them. So they had support from these countries. So USA had the support from the countries who they were helping, who they gave aid to through the Marshall Plan. And USSR had loyalty or the supporter from the other countries who they were supporting. That time, non-aligned movement was started. What does mean by non-aligned movement? Non-aligned movement means not to join. Already I told you. End of the Second World War, world was divided into how many blocks? Two blocks, two superpower, USA and USSR. USA was in capitalism. USA followed capitalism and USSR followed communism. So these two countries trying to get different countries to support them or different countries to become partners with them. But these two blocks are against each other. So many countries did not want to support USA or they did not want to support the USSR. They just wanted to be left out of independence on their own. That was non-aligned movement. USSR, Russia was trying to control a lot of countries. So European countries were trying to get out of the USA. So they formed something called as the Council of European. So this developed into a common market for all these European countries, and today we call it as the European Union. The Cold War period ended with the fall of Berlin Wall. Later we will see in our lesson how the wall is broken down. Now we'll see the Chinese Revolution. China in the pre-war period, that is before the war took place, China was actually a very well-developed country back then, more developed than the other European nation, and it was actually rapidly developed. So the Chinese civilization more advanced than European. But towards the 19th century, that is before the World War I, what happened? Why this China's progress stopped? Because the Manchu started ruling China. Manchu dynasty started ruling the people. So, and they did not govern China properly. So, the entire administration was in the hands of bureaucracy and various landowners. What happened was this mean the peasants were unhappy. This was a lot of people who went hungry, no jobs, poverty, high rents, high tax, and shortage of land. Then no proper facilities. Only some railways and engineering works had been built. So the people were very discontent. So people started an uprising among the population. So the Taiping Rebellion was started in the year 1850 to 1864. What is Taiping Rebellion? The Americans, the French and other foreign countries signed similar treaties with China. The Chinese rebelled against the native Manchu king and the foreigners in 1854. The rebellion was known as Taiping Rebellion and it was also suppressed. So Taiping Rebellion was suppressed. And two opium wars, 1832 and 1848, where people revolt against the Qing dynasty because they were not very efficient. They were not taking care of the dynasty, and the opium war was started, were fought against the Western countries. First opium war was started 1839 to 1842. In that first Opium War, the Chinese were defeated and forced to sign the Treaty of Nanking in 1842. According to the Treaty of China gave up the island of Hong Kong permanently to England. It also opened 5 ports to the Britain traders. Then how was started the Second Opium War? What were the causes for the Second Opium War? Second Opium War was started in the year 1857 and ended in 1860. The foreigners demanded more ports for traders. The Chinese government rejected the demands. The British and French bombarded and captured the Canton in the year 1857. It was called as Second Opium War. The Chinese were defeated and agreed to sign the treaty at Peking in 1860. The Chinese gave up the port of Kowloon. What is imperialism? A political system in which a rich and powerful country control other countries or colonies which are not as rich and powerful as itself is called as the imperialism. The European presence produced a profound hatred of foreigners. This combined with the military defeat led to the more pressing demand for reforms from Western educated intellectuals. What happened in the year 1898? In 1898, the young emperor brought about a reforms, 100-day reforms. So he wanted to change a lot of things within 100 days. He wanted to do this, but there was a lot of opposition for him. He was not able to complete it. Especially there was a empress that named Sushi. She was against it. And what did she do? She imprisoned the emperor and she reversed the reforms. That means she reversed to go back the reforms. The next we are going to see the Chinese Revolution 1911. After the Manchu dynasty and after the empress died in 1908, the Manchu dynasty came to an end. There was a new emperor. He was only about 2 years old. Since he was only 2 years old, what happened was a revolt had started. In October 1911, the local army mutinied and the revolt spread. Provincial government removed the Manchu's garrisons and proclaimed their independence. Already there were a few middle class leaders. Dr. Sun Yat-sen is one of them. On hearing the news, so this Dr. Sun Yat-sen hearing the news of rising newspaper in United States, Sun Yat-sen arrived in Shanghai and was immediately elected as the provincial president of the new Chinese Republic. Sun Yat-sen. He was born in the year 1866 in the place Canton. Dr. Sun Yat-sen, he was called as father of modern education. He was studied in mission school and became a Christian. He was then trained as a doctor of medicine in Hong Kong. He interested in politics, so he took part in a rising against the Manchus in 1895. In 1905, he founded in Tokyo the political party, which in 1912, it's become a Kuomintang Party or National People Party. What are the main objectives of this Kuomintang Party? Dr. Sun Yat-sen, 3 principles were nationalism, democracy, and people livelihood with socialism as the ultimate object. Nationalism. Democracy means rule of the people. Then Yuan Shi Koi and After Sun Yat-sen took over the control by Yuan Shi Koi, the unity of China under the Yuan Shi Koi lasted for 4 years. On his death in 1916, a new president was appointed for the next 12 years. Then next we are going to see Communist Party of China. With the revolution and the breakup of old society, Confucian thought was generally sidelined, and after the Russian Revolution of 1917, Confucian Confucians thought that they were taught by Confucius. He was a scholar. In 1917, the ideas of Marx and Lenin became a popular among the intellectuals. In 1918, a society for study the Marxism was formed in Peking University. Among the students who attended was Mao's. Mao's. He was born 1893. He was born in Hunan, in the southeast China. His father was a wealthy peasant and a firm supporter of Manjus. Mao's was very fond of reading, soon showed his ability and entered the junior college at Changsha. This was the year 1911 when the revolution had broken out in China. Mao joined the Revolutionary Army but soon left and enrolled in the teacher training college in Changsha. The following year, Mao began his full-fledged political activities of Hunan and emerged as a staunch communist party. Then we are going to see Kuomintang and Chiang Kai-shek. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, the leader of the Kuomintang party was Chiang Kai-shek. Who founded the Kuomintang party? Dr. Sun Yat-sen led the Kuomintang party. So after the death of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of the Kuomintang party, while the Communist Party was under Mao and Zhou Enlai as an old critic and communist. Chiang Kai-shek removed all of them from the important positions in the party. The communists increased the influence among the workers and the peasants, uptight recruits. Communist party means Mao's party. They gave support the workers, peasants. But in the Kuomintang party, they give the support. They given the support on the landlords and capitalists. In 1928, Chiang Kai-shek was successfully in capturing the Peking. Once again, there was a central government in China. Next, we are going to see Mao as organizer of peasants. Mao had understood that the Kuomintang grip on the towns was very strong because the Kuomintang party was supported on the wealthy landlords and capitalists. So he concentrated his energies on the organizing the peasantry. A few hundred communists led by Mao retreated into the wild mountains. Dr. Sun Yat-sen was born in the place Canton. Mao was born in Hunan. Hunan is a place of mountain ranges places in the Hunan. So a few hundred communists led by the Mao was retreated into the wild mountains. Here they stayed for the next 7 years. As the army of Mao was gradually growing, the Kuomintang was unable to penetrate. To penetrate means to enter into the mountains. The campaign against the communists was distracted as Chiang Kai-shek had to deal with the constant threat from the Japan and also attack from the warlords. Then the Long March organized by 1934, as a Chiang Kai-shek had built a fortified post around the communist position. Mao wanted to move out of Hunan for safer territory. By 1933, Mao had gained full control of the Chinese Communist Party. So he started the March 1934, the Communist Army of about 1 lakh. So 1 lakh communist members set out the long march. This march had become legendary. Of 1 lakh who set out, only 20,000 finally reached the northern Shanghai late in 1935. After crossing nearly 6,000 miles, they were soon joined by other communist armies. By 1937, Mao had become the leader of over 10 million people. So end of the march, Mao became the leader of the people. Today class we discussed the Chinese Revolution 1911, then Yuan Shikai, Communist Party of China, Kuomintang and Shanghai Sheikh, Mao's organizer of peasants, the Long March. Remaining, I'll be continue in the next. Thank you, students.